Hey everyone, Jim Spangler with the Goofy Guy here, and let's get right to the news for October 26th, 2020. Hey everyone, I'm Jim Spangler, the Goofy Guy, your host, and let's get talking about the news, the Disney news, for October 26th, 2020. Before we get to it, if you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and that notification icon, I'd really appreciate it. Smash that like button. It really helps this channel out. So let's get right to the news. The Tron roller coaster in the Magic Kingdom may not be completed in time for the 50th anniversary. There are reports that they're working on the outside and they're working on the canopy, the beautiful canopy that we're all excited about seeing go up, so that they can stop work and then later on start work back up to work on the inside and have all the details that need to take place. That's really not great, but if we look at the whole picture and all the money that Disney has lost, I guess we're not surprised by that. That they're having a little trouble getting it done, and now they're saying that it'll be open during the 50th anniversary, which is a completely different time frame. That pushes us back probably to spring of 2022, maybe summer of 2022. There's also talk that the celebration, which most likely was going to be 18 months to begin with, as most Disney celebrations are, may now push completely to 24 months because of all the delays and the things that they wanted to do for the 50th anniversary. I don't know that I think that that's a bad thing. I think that that's good for all of us. I'm just sorry to see that Tron is being pushed back as far as it is. But economic times are tough, and times have been tough with COVID-19, which I talked about in my last video when I talked about my trip for COVID. If you look right up here, right there, you can click right there and see what I'm talking about with my last visit to Walt Disney World during COVID. They're also saying that the same thing may happen to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, that they're going to get the outside finished so that it at least looks nice, and then later on they'll start work back up on the inside. You know, the other problem with Cosmic Rewind is that they are planning to use screens during that ride to tell the story, and they've not been able to do any of that filming for those screen projections. So they have other things that are also delaying Cosmic Rewind. But as we all know, it's all going to happen. It's just now a matter of time frame. It's a matter of when is it going to happen. And I know while we would all like to see it happen sooner than later, at least it is going to happen. It is, and they're saying it is going to happen during the 50th anniversary. Just when is the question. We don't know when that's going to be. AllEars.net did a survey of Disney's most overrated treats. I find that so fascinating that they did a survey of Disney's most overrated treats. While I know this isn't really news, I wanted to share it with you because the number one most overrated treat I think will make some of you laugh if you've been following the Goofy Guy for any amount of time at all. Number 5 on those overrated treats is a Dole Whip. I might agree with that. I think it might be a little overrated. I think if it were not in Disney, you might not like it so much. So number 5 is the Dole Whip. Number 4 is the Mickey Pretzel. Yeah, you heard that right. The Mickey Pretzel. 4th most overrated snack at Disney. Number 3, the Churro. Number 3 is the Churro. And I have said this before, the churros at the Magic Kingdom are not as good as the churros at Disneyland. Churros at Disneyland are really great, but we're talking about Magic Kingdom treats here, not Disneyland treats here. So the churro comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, I'm not sure I agree with this one at all if you know anything about me, but number 2 are the crazy cupcakes that they make. All those crazy cupcakes that they continually make for each season, each holiday that comes up. I'm not sure I agree with that because I happen to love cupcakes. So I love to eat cupcakes at the Magic Kingdom and at Epcot and at Animal Kingdom, every place. If you followed along with my WDW Cupcake Tour 2020 that I just got back from, you'll know that I love the cupcakes. But according to this survey on allears.net, number 2 was the cupcake. And the number 1 overrated treat, according to allears.net survey, is the turkey leg. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here. The turkey leg. You know how I feel about the turkey leg. I personally think the turkey leg is disgusting. Part of that is because I'm vegetarian. Part of that is also just because it's disgusting. But the readers of allears.net say that the turkey leg is the number one overrated treat at Walt Disney World. Imagineers have filed a permit for the large centerpiece of the harmonious nighttime spectacular that they're creating at Epcot. Now, if you've not seen these barges, you need to find these barges, and I've got an image of one of them right here, but these barges are huge, and so the permit that they filed is so that they can put anchor points in the water at Epcot to hold that centerpiece. So that's what that's all about. But it means that we are getting closer to Harmonious. We know that they've been testing fireworks. They've come a long way with all of that work over there. We've all seen the cranes hovering over Africa, the African section of World Showcase. And that's where they're doing all of the work on those barges. And so now they've filed a permit to put the anchor points into the water so that the barge can be held in place. If you're planning to go to Walt Disney World for the new year, for January 1st, 2020, you're too late to get into Hollywood Studios. All of the park passes for Hollywood Studios, those reservations for Hollywood Studios, are sold out. They are gone. Now, you can still get into the Magic Kingdom. You can still get one for Epcot and for Animal Kingdom. But if you were planning to spend your day at Hollywood Studios, you're too late. Those January 1st, 2021 passes are gone. The hours for Halloween at the Magic Kingdom and at Epcot have been extended. So the Magic Kingdom Halloween hours are going to be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the Epcot hours are going to be from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So if you're planning to go for Halloween, know that those hours of the Magic Kingdom and Epcot have been extended. And I suspect we might see that the hours are extended for both Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, but they haven't announced that yet. So keep an eye out for that too. As always, we always say, check the hours before you go, the day that you're going. Those hours change moment by moment. And to be honest with you, I would not be surprised to see the hours change a couple of times in a day as they're trying to figure out what it is that they'd like to do. So just always check the hours that you go, that you're on the day. Having a little trouble there. Always check the hours for the day that you're going. That's the advice that we always give here at The Goofy Guy. The All-Star Movie Resort is reopening on February 9th, 2020. That's great news. All-Star Movies Resort opening on February 9th, 2020. That is great. That's one of their economy resorts. I love that they're opening that. That opens up a lot of rooms for people to be able to come visit. And it shows that they're more confident in how many people that they can accommodate at the Walt Disney World Resort. I just think it's great news. We're going to keep our ear to the ground to hear about more resort openings and all the things that are going to happen related to that. But know that the All-Star Movie Resort is opening on February 9th, 2020. Passes to leave and get back into the resort are back at Walt Disney World. It was when they first reopened with COVID and all these restrictions, is that you went to the park and you had to stay. And as soon as you left the park, you couldn't get back in. But now you can actually get back into the parks. Now you can't get back into a different park, so we're not park hopping yet. But you can get back into a park that you had your reservation for. So if midday you decide you want to go back to the hotel, rest, hit the pool, take a nap, whatever the case may be, you can do that and still come back and get into the parks. Before they announced this was happening, I actually found out this was happening by talking to people in line that were doing it. I was in line with a couple from and the Tower of Terror, and they were telling me that they had been doing it all week, and I was so excited to hear that news. That's great news. And I also think it leads us to possibly looking forward to park hopping. I think that they're trying to figure out how to make park hopping work, and then they're going to get that done. And probably what that means is that you're going to have to make a reservation for both parks to be able to park hop, so that they know how many people are going back and forth. And if a park's reservations fill up for the day. You might not be able to park hop to that park, but at least we're working towards that, right? So now you can leave the park and come back to the same park that you were at. So that's good news. There are new deals that have appeared for Walt Disney for the dates between January 3rd and April 17th, 2021. Be sure, if you're looking at making reservations during that time, or if you have reservations during that time, that you check that deal page on the Walt Disney World webpage, or talk to your travel agent about those deals to see if you can get some of those. Some of them are really good deals, and so definitely worth checking out to save some money on your stay between January 3rd and April 17th of 2020. Disney is officially taking over control of the restaurants and merchandise of the Moroccan Pavilion. If you didn't know, Disney actually didn't control those things. Those are actually controlled by the country of Morocco, their tourism board and embassy. And so now the Moroccan restaurant, Marrakesh, has been closed down. The Tangerine Cafe has been closed. The marketplace is open, hit or miss during these times. And I know they financially had problems, and now Disney is going to officially take over that pavilion. You may not have even known that Disney wasn't in control of that pavilion, but Morocco was running that pavilion, which is one of my favorite pavilions. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't been back there, you need to go back and you need to explore those alleyways and such. Gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and you truly get lost back there. You really feel like you were in a Moroccan marketplace. It's absolutely beautiful. The smells and the sights and the sounds. It's wonderful back there. But anyway, beside the point, Disney is now going to be in control of those things. I think that might be a good thing. I really miss Marrakesh as a restaurant. I think it's a great restaurant and has great food. It's beautiful inside. The tile work in there is just stunning, so good, and the pavilion as a whole is just really wonderful. Now, the Moroccan embassy and the tourism board will still be a part of Morocco and still be a part of controlling it and have a say in what's going on there. They just aren't going to have the financial responsibility of keeping that pavilion open, so that's a good thing. Our last piece of news is actually about Disneyland. We finally got the state of California's guidelines for the opening of parks. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the details of opening parks in California, because actually there is a lot going on there. They deal with open-air events, they deal with smaller parks, and then larger parks, and so there's a lot of detail there. But for a park like Disneyland to open, California, the county that they're in, which is Orange County, needs to be at what they call level yellow. Now, what does that mean? That means that less than 1 in 100,000 people report getting COVID in a day, and less than 2%, and a less than 2% positivity COVID rate per day. That is so small. Less than 1 in 100,000 and less than 2% positivity rate, especially in a place as large as Orange County with Anaheim and such. That is such a high bar to try to manage. Provost Park Pass, if you're interested, has a great video about it. So does MiceChat.com. Dusty Sage wrote a great article about it on MiceChat.com to really give you the details of what this means. But it is a really high bar to cross. Disneyland president and the mayor of Anaheim have come out against this policy, as well as the California Parks and Attractions Association. And it doesn't just affect Disneyland. It affects, Universal Studios. It affects Knott's Berry Farm. It affects all of those parks. The Six Flags parks are affected by this. It is a really high bar to get to. And realistically, if that's the case, if they cannot fight this and get this changed, it's going to be a while before those parks open. Because it's going to be a while before Orange County and any of those areas are able to reach that standard. That's the yellow standard is almost COVID-free. And I just think that's really unrealistic and really unfair, and I'm really sorry to hear that. that has taken place. I think this is not the last we're going to hear about this. I think we have a fight on our hands. I think the governor of California is being a little unrealistic in all of this, especially after they visited Disney World and saw how they're handling COVID during Disney World and how they're handling it so well and it's safe. I had no worries while I was at Disney World. I never felt unsafe. I always felt like they were taking care of me, and they placed my protection first. Even if it didn't make for the best experience, they were concerned about me and my health first. And they've proven that they can do it successfully. So I think this new standard that they've set is really unrealistic, and I'm not sure that we're going to see it, that we're going to see it through. It's really too bad that it means that Disney California, Disneyland is not going to open for a while. Now, I did just read something where Disney California Adventure may be able to partially open. I'm not sure. I haven't done enough research on that to really report on it, so I don't want to say too much here. But still, really unreasonable levels. I know that they're concerned about the health of the public, and they've said that, the real issue is all of the businesses around those parks, and being able to control that too. And so, you want to keep people safe, but, they really need that business. That area needs Disneyland to be open. All those small family businesses around there are being affected, and it's really sad that it's taking this long and that it's going to take this long to get Disneyland reopened. It is going to reopen. No worries about that. It's just really a matter of when is it going to reopen for all of those people. So, there you go. At the moment, they need to be at level yellow, which is level 4, which is really tough to attain. Really hard. And they have to be at that level for 2 weeks. I forgot to add that. They have to be at that level for 2 weeks. Really hard level to achieve. Hey, if you'd do me a favor, if you'd hit that subscribe button down below and the notification icon, I'd really appreciate it. And smash that thumbs up icon. It really helps this channel. It helps other people find this channel. And I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate that vote of confidence. It does my heart good every time I see that like button smashed or a new subscription come through. I love that. Thanks so much for staying with me here to the end. I really appreciate it. I know you have a lot of choices for where you can get your Disney news from. And I really appreciate that you've chosen the Goofy Guy as the place where you're going to get your news. We try to do our best to give you the most up-to-date news that we can. And while we only do news once a week, we do try to make it as current as possible. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment, your thoughts. Leave comments and thoughts about the Disneyland opening and what California has done. Any thoughts about the top 5 list for the most overrated snacks? Feel free to comment about that. I'd love to hear from you, or just a comment in general about what's happening with the Disney parks. And maybe even what you'd like to see me cover, what you'd like to hear about. I really appreciate that. But thanks again for listening. I truly appreciate it. Stay safe, wear your masks, and vote. We're really close to the end here, 8 days away, so make sure you get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you participate and that your voice is heard. So get out and vote. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later.